Hey everyone, it's Casey. I feel like I haven't made a sit down video in a good while. I've been kind of vlogging a lot, and which I really like vlogging because I feel like that's what my channel is going more towards. But I decided I do need to keep on doing sit down videos just to keep y'all updated with my life and tell y'all the things that's happening in my life, the things I'm learning, and lessons that I can pass on to y'all. It's the end of June, and I didn't make a beginning of June thoughts video, so I just want to review June and everything that's been going on within it. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with some favorites of June. So my first favorite of June is the movie The Incredibles 2. First Incredibles came out in 2004, and we waited 14 years for it to come out. And me and my friends went out to see it. We all wore red, and honestly, it was a good movie. And it's a kids movie, like, let's be real. But I feel like anybody who saw the first one and grew up with it really wanted to see the second one. And honestly, nobody else agrees with me, but I want a third one. It didn't leave you on a cliffhanger like the first one did. It was just so good that I just want to see more of the lives of the characters. Overall, 10 out of 10, good movie. I suggest you go see it. My next favorite is another movie called Love, Simon. Now, this movie is a bit of a controversial movie because of what it's about, and I'm not going to go into what it's about because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But what it's about is not really what you see within the movie. I didn't look at it as that type of movie. I looked at it as just another love comedy movie, and it was just really good, and there was a lot of life lessons to be learned within that movie. My next favorite, I wish I had it with me, but it's actually in my room and I don't feel like walking all the way back in. It's a picture of me when I was like 3 or 4, and it's actually on a Polaroid. My parents always said they were going to take pictures of me and my sister growing up, that way we would have them pictures and other family members, and they grew up in the time where Polaroids were actually a thing, not the newer ones, the actual original one. So I have a picture of me on a Polaroid. I actually have several of me, and it's actually really cool to know that I was in that time period, or at least captured within that time period. I actually have a video idea I want to do with some of these pictures I found. So now let's talk about what I did in June. I couldn't think of much of what I did in June because, to be honest, most of June I was sick. I actually still am sick a little bit. I'm just now getting over it. I had walking pneumonia, the worst ever. It's basically just coughing a bunch. I think this week is the last week of it. I had to miss church last Wednesday and this Sunday morning and night services. I'm gonna try to go this Wednesday, but I'm not really sure. It's one part of my June. Something else I did June was went swimming for the first time this summer. I don't know how to swim. I attempted it. Me and my friend Cheyenne went to this place in her hometown. I still had fun. I got sunburn on my shoulders, which I really hate because I never really get sunburn on my shoulders. It's mostly just my forehead. So getting sunburn on my shoulders was the worst, but I still had fun swimming. Another thing I did this summer was went to a thing called camp meeting. It's part of my church/school. It's a church service every single day of the week. They have a special speaker, and I actually learned a lot within that week, and it was really fun and refreshing for me to learn some things, and it actually answered a lot of questions that I've had for a long time, just never thought to ask. So God really spoke to me that week. Okay, now let's talk about the lessons I've learned in June. The first lesson I actually learned from another YouTuber. His name's Adam Boston. Look him up. I really love his videos. But he was talking about how he's always tried to cope with the future, and in reality, we cannot cope with the future. As much as we try, we do not know what's going to happen in the future, so we just need to not try to cope with it and just let it happen. Of course, pray about it and think about it, but don't try to change it because what's going to happen is going to happen. Another lesson I learned from another YouTuber. I forget the YouTuber it was, but it kind of goes along with this. Don't what if things. We shouldn't what if things because what happened, and I mean, we can try to change what happened from that situation so it don't happen in the future, but we don't need to what if it because it already happened. Another lesson I learned is actually from camp meeting. This one is kind of common sense, but I kind of needed a refresher of it. It starts counting as a sin once you decided it's going to happen within your heart. I always used to think a sin is a sin once it's happened, And once I did it, and I'm not saying you should go out and sin, because you shouldn't, but it is a sin once you decide it is going to happen in your heart. The last thing I learned in June was trust in the waiting. This month was not the best month for me. I got some pretty bad news, and this bad news is still ongoing. I'm still praying about it, and it could eventually turn into good news. And I caught myself in a moment where I'm like, this waiting is frustrating me. But then I realized that, you know what? I could take this moment of waiting to pray more, realize what I can do if I have to live out this bad news, and what I can do if this bad news turns into good news. So that was a good, refreshing moment for me to realize that I just need to trust in the waiting and trust that God has a plan and He knows what He's doing. Okay, that was a short video. I really wanted to make this video for a while, and I'm glad I finally got to it. But if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and have a great rest of your week, everyone. Bye.